Chapter 2 Dreams of Insomniac. So, what do you think the smelling guy will be like? Gorge asked to everyone as they made their way down the road. "Well, I think he might be a nice fellow." Jericho looked down at Gorge. Brian butted into their conversation. "I think it would be cool if he was this badass rider with a name like Smelvin." They would continue discussing topics like who Smelvin is, what Calgon wants, why a guinea pig is so important to this archdruid, etc. On the way, they would find little distractions. One time, Jericho sees a fruit stand and buys a melon to have. Another, Gorch's eyes would beam as he begs Sapphics for a gold piece to throw in a fountain. Eventually, the heroes make their way to the Traveler's Wake, the biggest tavern this side of Corlos. It was a large rustic tavern with a bustling aura as soon as you opened the door. Tons of patrons who have seemingly never met, bonding like brothers over a tankard of ale. Some others either under drinking age or simply don't want to drink, order foods, or have a chat over dinner. The tavern creates strong bonds just by being around. Sapphic seems to have the strongest opinion of all of them. What a barbaric establishment! It's messy, loud. Have these drunkards no table manners? Sapphic sighed out as the group heard a humming from beside them. A common thief tried to steal Sapphic's staff, yet got turned to a gleaming statue. Sapphics, being the obviously good person, fully intended to walk away without helping the man. "Sapphics," John spoke up, crossing his arms like a disappointed father. "Turn him back." "But he tried to steal my staff." "Does not mean he has to stay like this forever." "We both know full well you can revert him, Jonathan." John just raises his eyebrow, glaring at Sapphics. Suddenly Sapphics got a great feeling of dread. "Don't make me count to 3. "John, he's a thief. He should be staying like this." "1. Imagine all the people he's stolen from. They would be glad." "2. Okay, you're an ass sometimes," Sapphics lamented, as he poked the thief's statue with the wooden end of his staff, and the thief broke free. He looked up at Sapphics, fear filling his eyes now. Quickly, he ran away. John looked pleased. They approached the bar and met the bartender. John ordered a big tankard of ale. Jericho got himself and Gorch a pretty cocktail, with specific instructions to substitute the alcohol with sparkling water and Gorch's. Sapphics asked for presumably his favorite drink, Saphicola. It is his brand, though, so he's probably just promoting himself. And Prime ordered from the dessert menu, a sundae. After finishing their drinks and food, they got to the point of them being here. "Barkeep?" John asked, raising a hand to wave him over. "Hi, John, what next?" The bartender walked over, leaning on the bar top. "Actually, we're good for now. I'm asking about a patron of yours. Took him in a bit ago. Smelvin?" "Ha, the rabbit! He's a nice fellow. Here to spread his goddess. What about him?" "Here for business. As it may not seem, we need his help. Can you take us to his room?" "If it's business, then I should. Come with me." The bartender heads off to a corner of the bar where there's a staircase leading up. The heroes follow him, and they make their way to the second floor where rooming is. A few doors down is where the barkeep takes them, rapping on the door. "Smelvin, people are here to see you." "Just a moment," a small voice from inside the room called out. A bit later, the door opened. There was immediately nobody, but that's when they looked down to see a small anthropomorphic rabbit wearing a soft holy garb and holding a staff with an emblem at the top. It depicted a dove of peace. "Oh, I've heard of you. You're a friar. Please, come in." Smelvin stepped aside, letting them in. The room was nicely furnished, with a small coffee table in the middle of the room. Heroes went to kneel around the table as Smelvin went off to the side of the room. He was grabbing a teapot from a lit burner. He grabbed 6 teacups with saucers, which is honestly a big handful. He brings them to the table as he brings them to the table. He lays out teacups in front of everyone, slowly filling them up. "Can I get you anything else? Some sugar for your tea?" "Sugar for the goblin. We're here for business." Jericho speaks up. Smelvin goes back over to where the teapot was and grabs a small bowl, spooning a bit of cane sugar into Gorge's tea. "So, what do you need?" Smelvin asked, kneeling at the table with all of them, taking a quick whiff of the tea's aroma. It wasn't bad. There was a soft carpet under the table. "Frankly," John would say, taking a pause to sip his tea. Not even sure. I just know you can help us. Criminal got out of prison, and now he's after the Harbingers, whatever that is. Smelvin's ear twitched as he paused in the middle of his sip of tea. The Harbingers? I'll take it you know what that is? Smelvin sets down his tea and stands up, taking a few steps away. He takes a deep breath before speaking up again. Pride, greed, industry, depths, fate. These five sit before me now. As Smelvin looks across the heroes for hire, John, then Savix, then Jericho, Gorch, and finally Prime. And there's me, Life. There's four who are not here right now. Who who wanted the Harpingers? John glanced around waringly, seeing Smelvin's sudden mood change. Some bloke named Calgon. Spec Clyde. Smelvin paused a bit longer. Dreams. They'll leave three Harbingers left. Are they safe? Jericho raised a large hand. Not know where they are. Then they're not. It's serious. I would recommend not to engage Calgon at all, because then you're leading half of the Harbingers right to him. However, I know you can't stand around and watch. I can give you advice on where death, the unknown, and hate are. Maybe you can get them to safety before Calgon can find them. Heroes look between themselves. Gorch then suddenly speaks up, raising his hand like a student in school. Do I have special powers because I'm the Harbinger of Fate? Smelvin sighs, waving Gorch off. Gorch, please take this seriously. You're the Harbinger of Depths, not Fate. It's more so you're the Harbinger because you have incredible power, not you have incredible power because you're the Harbinger. Gorch raises his hand again. What's my incredible power? It's the pact you have with your Blue King fellow, Gorch. Gorch raises his hand again. Smelvin sighs. Prime is the Harbinger of Fate. That's why you aren't. Gorch's hand lowers. All right. Smelvin stretches a bit. Firstly, the Harbinger of Death is far from here. He stays in a long abandoned lab on the other side of the continent. He doesn't like to be bothered. Or it. Harbinger of the Unknown is even farther. That's because he's not on this plane. He's way under ours. However, hate is much closer. In the next town over. That's as much as my goddess tells me. Shortly after, the heroes stand. Well, thank you, Rabbit, Sapphic says, bowing slightly. We'd appreciate if you came along with us. Smelvin put his paws up, waving slightly. Oh, no, I can't. I'd get in your way. I'm a pacifist. John shrugs slightly, shaking his head. Well, whatever suits you, mate. We'll be going now if you don't mind. Smelvin nods, and waves the heroes out as they depart. The heroes walk through the kingdom, seeing all the people around. If they fail, all these people won't be around anymore. They have to travel a long ways, but it's fine. They're used to traveling for work. They get to the edge of the kingdom as Prime speaks up. Harbingers? And we're them? I mean, I get how fate makes sense for me, and I only kinda understand all you guys. John scoffs, preparing to make a rift home. Yeah, mine's weird. I'm not all that prideful, just a living god. Well, I think it suits you rather much, Calgon said, rolling his eyes. Wow, thanks, Calgon. John sighed at the friendly banter, then immediately got serious, and conjured his spectral guitar. He whipped it around to Calgon. Before it connected, John stopped in his place. Now, John, Calgon slyly said. Play nice. How about I make you a little less strong to make this fair? Oh, Clyde, help me out here. Calgon reached up to his shoulder, where padded pauldron was. Atop the pauldron was a brown guinea pig. The heroes were confused as Calgon put Clyde onto John's head. Sapphic pointed his staff at Calgon, demanding, What are you doing to him? Call off your rat. He's not a rat. He's Clyde. He made me, you know. I'd show some respect to someone like that. Calgon teetered in place. Jericho quickly grabbed one of Calgon's arms. Why are you doing all this? Calgon pondered in thought for a bit. It's what Clyde wants. He's smarter than all of you. He made me from dreams alone, woven together like the magic of the universe. Everyone watched Clyde's actions to John. Nothing seemed to happen, though, as Calgon quickly took Clyde off John, and John could move again. You snide bastard! John tried to connect another hit, and it lands, but Calgon bursts into small threads of being. fluttering away in the wind. John was left panting, exhausted. Joe, are you okay? Gorge spoke up, trying to put a comforting hand on John. Get away! John wheezed out, holding his head. Sapphics approached. John, you're not okay. What happened? He, damned dreamer. John sighed and fell backwards, passing out. Jericho quickly picked John up, carrying him. Johnson may be out right now, but we need to continue. The quicker we can get to the Harbingers, the sooner we can stop Calgon. Don't worry, he'll wake up eventually. They agree, even if they want to help John now as they make their way along the path. They're used to traveling via the Weave, but without John, they can't do it. The road is long, and eventually night falls over Fabel. The team sets up camp off the road. Jericho lights a fire as Prime pulls a sheet out of his pocket. He flaps the sheet a bit, and it cartoonishly pops up into a large tent. Gorf is off at a river nearby, catching food for tonight. That leaves Sapphics and John. John lays in the tent, carefully placed in a bedroll. Sapphics stabs the wooden end of his staff into the ground, so it doesn't touch anything. It shouldn't, and enters the tent. John, Sapphics called out, with an uncharacteristically worried tone. You're still asleep, aren't you? No response from John. Sapphics kneels down next to John. No, I'm not the nicest, but it'd be common sense to come see you, see if you're okay. I don't have much else to do anyways. You're a good man, John. I want you to be okay. That hat looks uncomfortable. Sapphics would reach down, try and take off John's 10-gallon. Didn't budge a bit. John, Sapphics, you can take it easy. Almost subconsciously, understanding Sapphics, John's hat slipped right off. Sapphics placed the hat next to the bedroll. Sapphics looked back down at John's weak, asleep expression. Gorch sticks his head into the tent. Sapphics, what are you doing in here? Sapphics, almost immediately standing, brushing off his robe, trying to see how to wake John. I only strive for efficiency. Gorch, knowing none the wiser, gives a thumbs up. Okay, I thought you were having an epic gay moment in here. Come help me cook these fish. Sapphics grins and nods. Sure, Gorch, I'll help. Sapphics follows Gorch out of the tent, helping and cooking the fish.